Brandon here with Heroic Athletics, going through the split squat, dumbbell split squat. Just the execution, setup, and some possible scales for you based on your ability. So with the split squat, it is a closed chain movement. So both feet are gonna stay on the ground the entire time. So you can, because it's closed chain, you can overload this a little bit more, meaning you can go a little bit heavier with the movement. But what I'm gonna do for setup is, I'll maybe face you here. I wanna start with my feet about hip to shoulder width apart. Okay, it's gonna vary dependent on the person. What I don't like to see is you be too narrow with your stance. So if you're too narrow with the stance, you're gonna have a lot of side to side sway through the movement. And we wanna create some stability through this movement. So starting with my hips, or my feet hip to shoulder width apart, I'm going to, as best I can, keeping a nice flat back, pick up the dumbbells, and taking a step backwards. Now, if you're unsure of kind of the distance, our second setup here is I'm going to set up so that when I come down, this front knee should be over the ankle. Okay, I shouldn't be too far forward or too far back. This back knee should be under the hip. So what I often will see is people will be too far back. Notice the knee is way behind the hip here, or people are not far enough apart and they kind of get into this kind of knee in front of hip position. So what I want to see is you set up so that when you come down, your knee is as directly under the hip as possible, while this front knee is directly over the ankle, okay? So this is gonna be my setup. If you need something to measure it or have some landmarks or something, you can do so. Then, again, using the dumbbells, find that stance that you found earlier. You're now going to keep the shoulders back, eyes forward, big breath in, and brace through the trunk every single time. So I'm gonna big breath in, come down, and again, driving through mostly the front leg, but both legs to stand back up. Okay, coming down, straight down, and back up. While I drive down, I'm thinking about driving this knee straight towards the ground under control, and then pushing through both legs to come up. Now you notice this back foot, I'm on basically digging my big toe into the ground. So I'll take off my shoes so you can see. This back foot, I'm digging that big toe into the ground, okay? I'm not going flat foot, or worse yet, turning the foot out here. This just puts a weird position or a weird torque angle on the knee. I wanna keep that big toe driving into the ground as I come down with that knee under the hip, and then again, pushing off that big toe and this front leg to drive up, okay? So that's our setup and execution for the split squat. Easiest way to scale it, if you need to, is use no weight, so just body weight. Another option, if no weight or even body weight is difficult, is you can use some support. So whether you have sticks like so, in the same position, sticks out front, belly tight, back straight, down and straight up. I can use this for balance. And also, if I don't have sticks like this, I can use a post, a rig, a wall, a doorway, door frame, anything to kind of help with that balance and stability. And then gradually, every time you do these, work to progress it. So you go from posted to maybe the sticks, to maybe just body weight, to then adding some weight, 5, 10, 50, 15, 20, 100 pounds, whatever. So again, you can overload this. Getting that balance and perfect execution first is important. Once you have that though, feel free, throw some weight on and get after it. So any questions, comments, feedback, anything like that, you can drop a comment below or check out our website, heroicathletics.com. See you next time.